everyone. I'm delighted to introduce our next speaker, Patrick Roger. Patrick is the Vice President of the Markets at Adswizz, the leading provider of digital audio advertising solutions worldwide. He has been with Adswizz for 15 years, joining the company as one of its first employees. And now he's leading the company's efforts to grow and expand in Asia Pacific and emerging markets. In his current role, Patrick is responsible leading Adswizz expansion efforts in non-EU, non-US markets. He is focused on developing new partnerships and driving revenue growth in key markets around the world. Patrick is also passionate about using technology to improve the way that advertisers and publishers connect with their audience. Patrick Roger will be speaking about the new advertising models that are emerging in the global audio market. He will discuss the latest trends in audio advertising and how these trends are impacting the way that advertisers and publishers reach their audience. Patrick will also share insights into the future of audio advertising and how business can prepare for these changes that are ahead. Thank you, Patrick. Now I'll leave the presentation to you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for inviting me. Okay, indeed, I had the privilege to start the digital audio market at Adswizz in 2008, when, in fact, no one was even thinking about digital audio advertising. Believe me, it has been a long journey, okay, until today, when finally buyers saying audio works, and even sometimes return with regular and bigger budget. Today, on the agenda, so next, I will focus on what digital audio content are we talking about and how ad insertion works. I will then show you the top formats being used globally and present a couple of award-winning campaigns that have used those formats. Finally, we will disclose also what are the next generation formats, and we will finish with what I call the audio moments, which is the good news regarding digital audio that we recently read from the US market. Next. So when we talk about audio advertising, we immediately think about radio. In fact, okay. So if you remember, radio is the model one-to-many. Everyone will listen to the program, and of course, when it times to commercial ad break, everyone will listen to the ads. 1, 2, 3, maybe 10 ads in a row, okay, and that's it, and come back to the stream. When we decided to consider digital audio monetization, very early we discovered that it was a challenge. A challenge because content is spread across multiple platforms, as you know, publisher player, Apple, TuneIn, etc. And also multiple devices, desktop, mobile, smart speakers. And as a technical company, we don't have often access to the player, right? This is why our platform was built what we call server side to enable 100% of audience monetization on streaming and podcast. So what we wanted a one-to-one model. So you remember offline is one-to-many. Here we want one-to-one model, which is to stand out of the crowd, creating compelling messages and delivering these messages to the right audience at the right moment. Of course, when this platform was available, with no surprise, our technology attracted nearly every major publisher in the US, Europe, and Asia market. Because digital audio has per se no frontier, okay? Publisher came to us and say, hey, I am in this country, let's say I am in Turkey, but I have 50% of my audience outside Turkey. Can you do something for me? And it was the same question coming from US, Europe, etc. So we said, hey, it's easy. We are going to build for you a global marketplace where premium inventory will be aggregated so that buyers can buy this inventory that is aggregated market by market. So as a conclusion, we have built this marketplace that is available to you right now, and where you can find most of the top, let's say, streaming and podcast content, right? And as a summing up, you have access to a global marketplace with billions of impressions that you can buy. Finally, in 2018, everything was built, and next slide, please. SiriusXM was considering in US focusing on digital audio. So they made the purchase of Pandora Media, who is the biggest music app in the US, really head-to-head with Spotify. And they bought the biggest podcast network, Stitcher, as well as they bought the technology that goes with it, so Adswizz and Simplecast. So at the end of the day, we all are part of SiriusXM today, and but we keep a very independent roadmap for our customers worldwide. And when this acquisition took place, I would say it was the perfect timing, because digital audio trend, as you can see on this slide, the trend is very aggressive. For example, 11.13 billion USD plan for 2024. A very aggressive growth of podcasts since the pandemic for podcast, as you can see bottom right. And at the end of the day, after so many years now, we can see across the board, so almost in every country is the same, 77 to or at least 70% of the listeners are on mobile. So for advertisers that consider advertising on mobile, digital audio is definitely your friend. So that was the first part. So now I wanted to be sure that everyone understand what is the digital audio content you can access and how digital dynamic ad insertion is working. So we have now time for discovering the different formats, the very top format that are working for our advertisers worldwide. The first one is what we call sequencing ad. So as you know, in audio, average size of an audio ad is 30 seconds on average, let's say. But you can understand easily that it can be challenging to tell a full story in a 30-second audio ad, right? So our ad sequencing feature allows a richer story to be told through multiple ads in a predefined order. So example here on the right, you can imagine having a Coca-Cola saying, hey, we have this new event in New York, please join. And then in a second lesson of an audio content, you will hear, because you heard the first ad, you will listen to the second ad, bring your friends to the festival. And at the end, it will be like a call to action to buy a certain number of Cokes to meet AC/DC. Okay, and we use also ad sequencing on podcasts. When you have a podcast with different episodes that the listener will listen, you will see that these sequencing ads can be played across multiple episodes. Yeah. So now a second extraordinary, I would say, a format that is the Adswizz DCO feature that enables brands to connect at an individual level at the right time and the right place, okay? By leveraging extensive data points, such as, for example, behavioral segments, local weather, or device types, brands can dynamically generate and deliver a multitude of customized audio creatives to a multitude of listeners at scale. Okay, so Mercedes-Benz in Turkey was the first to try and won, by the way, the London Drum Award for 2 years in a row. And this is a wonderful example of what we can do now. Okay, I would like to play this video, so I think it's better than a long story. The video will tell you everything about the project.
As Mercedes-Benz, we're always on our way to offer our customers the best customer experience, anytime, anywhere. How could we more effectively communicate our newly launched Alaçatı pop-up store to consumers in line with our motto, "Passion knows no distance"? We achieved it by using a technique that had never been tried before. So what was the technique? We generated customized spots with a special setting using location-based programmatic radio, which had never been used in Turkey before. The radio spots were customized according to the listener's distance from the pop-up store and their musical preferences. Potential customers who were nearby were invited to visit the Alaçatı pop-up store to attend fun activities and take test drives. As consumers listening to our message were informed of their kilometer distance from the pop-up store, the background music of the spot switched to the genre of music they were listening to at that moment, and our banner ad displayed on their screens.
Mercedes-Benz Pop-Up Store Port Alaçatı'da test sürüşü ve keyifli aktiviteler için seni bekliyor. 20 Haziran 2 Temmuz tarihleri arasında Pop-Up Store'a gel, tutkuyu sen de yaşa.
The number of people who listened to the entire spot increased to 88%, significantly higher than the sector average. The number of unique visitors who listened to our customized spots based on location and music preferences and were directed to the pop-up store was 2.36 times higher than those who listened to regular spots. This campaign allowed us not only to turn the standard radio spot format into a dynamic one, but also to provide consumers a Mercedes-Benz experience in their natural environment and in a style they love.
So next slide. With second screen, so the other format is called second screen. So with second screen, you can manage audio first, display second. It's called campaigns within the same platform to create a stronger connection with your audience. How it works? The Adswizz second screen feature enables you to seamlessly retarget listeners of an audio ad on other websites and apps. Okay, so Sidhu was the first to try. No, please stay on the. Sidhu was the first to try this one last year, and they won an award. Okay, it was like one of the best presentations for second screen retargeting, where they demonstrated precise local targeting and increases website conversion by 43%. Right. The good news with customers like Sidhu, and this is what I said in the introduction, sometimes we have buyers that says, hey, it works, and they come back and they invest. Okay, so on the next slide we will see that since 2023, since the award, Sidhu runs 3 to 5 campaigns per month using audio and second screen retargeting. So here we are in campaign. This campaign is running right now in Australia, and it is targeting people who wants to have this kind of machine for river, fishing, etc. Yeah, so it's a new era. Maybe we can listen to the audio.
Are you ready for the Sea-Doo Last Wave sales event? Bold on the water, easy on the wallet. Enjoy up to $3,500 off and an extra year's warranty on select models. And don't forget about our low finance offers that make riding the waves more affordable than ever. To approved purchases, terms and conditions apply. Visit c-do.com or head to your local dealer for more.
And so the audio is telling you that you should either click, go to the website and go to c.do.com, right? And or you will be retargeting with a display ad at a later time on your mobile or on your desktop if you are on the same location, IP location. And you have a window of opportunity of 48 hours to a couple of days to click on the banner. At the end of the day, one or the other way will be directing you to the website where you can see more about the product. Next slide. So our customer said, yeah, but that would be super nice if we could attribute the connection to the website with the origin. Okay, who did what? And this is exactly what we do with our pixel feature. So the audio pixel is a digital tracking pixel that enables you to measure the success of your ad campaign by matching the users who heard the ads and the user who subsequently performed a certain action, right? Like, for example, visiting the website, making a purchase, or downloading an app, okay? And Audio Pixel was designed specifically for audio first. Audio first means there is nothing else by audio campaigns and can help you make data-driven decision on your audience targeting, yeah? That's the idea. So that's how it works. Exactly. When the call to action is performed, you will go to the website, and on certain areas of the website, you have, as you can see on the top right here, we can see different pixels that have been placed. And depending on the source, so if it's because the girl clicked on the banner, or because she heard the audio, or because she just went to the website without listening to the, we can detect this and track by pixel, yeah, which is very interesting. So that's it for the top three, let's say, format that I wanted to share with you today that are the most widely used in the world, okay? Now we are, of course, thinking about and building already the next generation formats, which, no surprise, will be based on AI, so AI technology. And the first one is really the one that you saw already in the Mercedes-Benz campaign, because it was tested long ago. And also the Dunkin' US campaign was using this. So the idea is to, depending on the music that you are listening to at the time of the ad, the music bed of your message will be using the same kind of contextual sound or music test, mood, etc. Okay, that's the idea. And it will be generated by AI, and that's a format that works very well. So this one is in the pipe. The second one that is very interesting is what we call live event targeting. So this is really so imagine we have Olympic Games very soon, and advertisers want to advertise on certain events at the Olympic Games, but they have different version of the message depending on who is winning or who is having what score. So that could be one information that we get automatically to build the ad. The last one that we did, and this was a very interesting one, is for Corona beer, where Corona is reaching beachgoers with custom audio ads every day to prevent them from going to places where it's no good. Okay, so for example, we have a DCO campaign here with live event connections. So we connect to the database called wind.com, and wind.com is passing on to us wind speed, wind direction, and swell. Swell is the height of the wave at the closer surface surf pitch to that location. So you see the campaign is having a main message in blue. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 parameters in green that have a value depending on the parameter we receive from wind.com and the location. And at the end, this is the call to action. We have also a music bed that basically is related to the sound of waves on the sea. We can maybe listen to the audio as an example.
From where you'd rather be, it's today's Surf Report brought to you by Corona. For whangamata, southeasterly winds, blowing between 5 and 9 knots, with swells between 1 and 2 metres. And that's today's Surf Report, brought to you by Corona, from where you'd rather be.
The last new feature on which we are working, because it's a very important market for us, is and this is related to podcasts, so this is the next slide. Basically, we are talking about what we call instant creative production, and this is related to host-read. So, in podcast, most of the time the host will talk and people are coming back to the podcast or the episode of the host because they like the host, right? And in fact, what we see is that when the host is reading the ad, it's even better for the ad, right? So the problem is the host has no time to do thousands of ads per day. So with AI, again, we could register the voice of the host, and this feature will automatically generate, if you want, the ad with the voice of the avatar of what we call the avatar of the host. Okay, so that this is something that we are not yet able to distribute in production because we are still working on languages, right? So in English it's more or less working, but it's difficult to do it in Hindi or in Turkish, etc. So it's not yet there because the voice should really look like a normal voice, but it will come soon. Now, the audio's moment, that's why I said. So basically, last quarter, we received a study from a big network in the US that has hundreds of stations and thousands of podcasts. And they had conducted a study with Nielsen and involving also Procter & Gamble. So basically, 4 informations. The number one is that audio is now becoming the number 1 rich medium and has soared past TV in the US, which is a very important information for radio and audio. Okay, and P&G has seen that, has seen its 1849-year-old preferred target shift and decided to invest and start investing more in audio. Okay, so in certain countries, they are not even doing audio or radio, but now they are starting, and we have seen that with recent campaigns in Africa and other countries, in particular Pepsodent, brand, etc., for which we had campaigns coming from P&G. Probably listeners of streaming and podcast content are also, and this is the last information, are also likely to convert better, and this is an information that we need to keep in our brain. The last slide is also a recap of really what is a good audio ad? Because, you know, we say, hey, audio works. Yes, but it works if the audio has been tailored to the context. Okay, so I see a lot of advertisers that say, oh, okay, I will take the 30-second audio ad from the radio and copy and paste and use it for digital audio. It could work, but it's not the best way to do it. Okay, so this is why I think, and this is what is written here on the top right, it's very important to use at least 3 or 4 information like voiceover. Voiceover means that your audio is not only a man's voice or a woman's voice, it's a man and a woman talking to each other. We see a lot of better recall of the ad if it is done this way. That's one information. The second one is creative rotation, and this is what we did. I presented to you with sequencing ads. Okay, so that's the idea. Personalization is also something we discussed today with the Mercedes campaign, for example, or the Corona beer campaign that are personalized ads, and really it's working very well. And finally, for podcasts, and this is what we call the platform feature, we see that Osred adapted to with natural voice is working very well. And this is why we see more and more Osred campaigns, by the way, on podcasts. This is it for me today. So basically, audio is and podcast are integral part of our day from the morning to the end. Okay, and even when you go home, now you see a new coming, which is gaming. And gaming can also be monetized, but we will talk about this to another session. Thank you.
Okay, Patrick, thank you for all this information. Nice to see you. Have a good day.
It was a pleasure for me to participate in your event. I'm glad that we could share what's going on worldwide about digital audio advertising. And I hope we will be able to have another session regarding other topics that are related to it.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.